Someone stole from the state. Where is the box? Things are not adding up now. And because of that, people were put at risk.
No one noticed when the container went missing. That was the first mistake. The operation had been declared a national success. After months of planning, weeks of execution, and millions in public funds, Operation Clearline finally wrapped up. The abandoned government warehouse complex, once a hub for illegal dealings and black market storage, had been seized, catalogued, and cleared. Everything recovered was meant to be logged, audited, and returned to the state. Everything. Except one container. A small, steel-gray lockbox, unmarked, unregistered, and quietly removed before sunrise. Daniel Akin, senior logistics officer for the task force, stood at the edge of the compound as trucks rolled out one by one. His job was simple: verify manifests, ensure accountability, sign off. He had done this work for 13 years. Never a complaint. Never an investigation. Never even a rumor. That's why no one watched his hands. The lockbox had been heavier than it looked. Inside were items confiscated from the warehouse's inner vault, things not meant to be found. Antique gold bars stamped with foreign seals. Rare currency bundles. Objects already marked state property. Public assets. Daniel told himself it was a gray area. These things will disappear anyway, he thought. They always do. He slid the box into the back of his government-issued SUV and covered it with safety gear. His pulse never spiked. His breathing stayed calm. He had already decided that at home that night. Daniel buried the lockbox beneath the concrete slab of his backyard shed. He worked carefully, methodically, like someone who had rehearsed the moment in his head 1,000 times. He didn't open the box again. That mattered to him. Opening it would make it real. 3 days later, the task force reconvened. That's when things started going wrong. The audit team flagged a discrepancy. Nothing dramatic, just a missing asset ID. A clerical error, they assumed. Those happened all the time. But then another issue surfaced. A routine inspection of unrelated equipment failed. Then another. Then another. Small failures. But all linked to one thing: resource shortages. Funding that should have been available, wasn't. Departments started blaming each other. Managers grew defensive. Emails got sharper. Daniel stayed quiet. At night, though, sleep stopped coming easily. He began to notice patterns. A transport truck stalled unexpectedly. A security camera malfunctioned. A training exercise failed due to missing gear. The task force lost its first minor operation a week later, not because of opposition, but because of missing equipment that should have been there. Daniel sat in the briefing room as his supervisor slammed a fist on the table. Someone stole from the state, the supervisor said. And because of that, people were put at risk. Daniel felt a flicker of irritation. People exaggerate, he thought. It was one box. But that night, standing alone in his yard, Daniel noticed something strange. The ground above the shed slab looked disturbed. Not broken. Just uneven. As if it had shifted. He told himself it was settling concrete. But deep down, a quiet thought crept in. What if taking it didn't end when I took it? The next morning, Daniel received an email marked confidential. Subject line: Internal review, all staff required. And at the bottom of the message, one sentence stood out. This review will include polygraph testing and financial audits. Daniel stared at the screen, his heart pounding for the first time since the night he buried the box. If someone steals public property but no one is harmed immediately, is it still a serious crime, or just a victimless mistake? Comment your thoughts before watching the next episode. Because your answer might change once the truth unfolds.